All right, I figured this would be a news scoop worth covering, and no, it's not about United Airlines, actually. You probably heard about it if you keep up to date with the goings-on in video game news, which I don't at all, but this happened to be a story very relevant to what I do on a daily basis, which is Microsoft is rolling out a store, a marketplace to Minecraft on mobile, Pocket Edition, and the Windows 10 edition, which as far as I'm aware is Pocket Edition. It's the C++ version of Minecraft, but, you know, it's running on Windows 10. So, big news. Right? So on this store, you're going to be able to spend real money on a virtual currency, coins, I think they are. And then from there, you're able to buy texture packs, world downloads, skin packs, things of that nature. Now, hold on. Put your pitchfork down. You can pick it up later if you're still angry, but it's not coming to the PC Java version of Minecraft, which I play, and which there's a good chance that you probably play for the most part. So that's staying unchanged. This is, again, just for Pocket Edition and Windows 10 Edition. Maybe they'll roll it out to Xbox and PlayStation consoles in the future, but Java PC will remain untouched. It wouldn't make sense to introduce this into that for reasons I'll go into in just a couple minutes. So you're safe, you're good. But obviously there's a lot of community reaction to this because, well, whenever you introduce microtransactions into a game that didn't previously have microtransactions, you're, needless to say, gonna get a little bit of mixed feedback. So I figured I'd make this video to elaborate on what I think about things and the impact of that. And the most important thing to me is if I see a game introducing microtransactions, especially one that didn't have them before, the criteria that I look for it to meet, and that I hope is the developer's intent as well, is, are the microtransactions adding value? And that what you don't want to do is you obviously don't want to take features that have previously been free and open for everyone to use and put those behind a paywall. You don't want to do that. What you want to do is you want to make something new that wasn't previously accessible, and that's what you're able to get via the microtransactions. Now, is the criteria met on that? Let's look into it. So on Pocket Edition, which for some reason I just cannot say those words properly, Pocket Edition, from my experience and from what I've read, it's not very easy to, say, input a texture pack, download a custom world file, and do the sort of stuff that the marketplace is offering. I know that there are ways to do it, but I'm not sure if without connecting your phone to a computer or downloading third-party apps and doing some file exchanges, if there is there's no plug-and-play way to do it. From, at least as far as I'm aware, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but you're more or less, the store is allowing you to pay for ease of use, which is a value add for many people. If you don't want to spend potentially hours of time looking into how do you change these files, how do you load these things on, then you can simply pay through the built-in function of the store, and you can get your texture pack, you can get your world download, you can get your skin pack, or whatever it is that you want. And so therefore, I would argue that there is a value add there. You can play the game as you always have before. The store is not removing functionality on Pocket Edition that you once had access to for free, but it's adding something that, for those of you, for the people out there who still want to do the roundabout process that they have to do to get the files onto their phone so that they can do this without buying into the store, you can still do that, but the store offers an easy plug-and-play way to do it, obviously at the expense of dollars. Now, when I was younger, in my how can I get anything and everything for free days, I would have been like, why would I ever buy into the store if I can just do these file exchanges and get the stuff for free? However, there are a lot of people who maybe are using their parents' devices in order to play the game. Their parents just don't want them to be downloading third-party stuff and tinkering with it. No matter how safe it is, there's always, I feel like parents can have a little bit of paranoia sometimes about tinkering with devices, and therefore it's, you know what, just use the store. It's built into the game, and you're good to go. So that's another possibility there as well. Just a little bit of peace of mind for parental-owned devices. Now, let's look at Windows 10, on the other hand, because so far I've been focused on Pocket Edition. Windows 10, I don't know that there is much of a value add to having the store, right? You're already presumably on a desktop PC or a laptop. You're running the full Windows 10, so you have the option to go PC Java if you want to. And therefore, if you are paying for a skin, a texture pack, a map on the Windows 10 edition, it is something that you could just be playing for free instead you can just download online and drag it into the necessary folder and play it on PC Java. So in that situation, if you don't play Pocket Edition and you do play Windows 10, which I'm not sure how common that scenario is, but maybe it exists for some people, I would argue that it maybe isn't the best solution, that instead just use PC Java. It has more functionality anyway, at least for now, until possibly Microsoft brings the Windows 10 and Pocket Edition beyond. I don't know. That's speculation. I don't know if it'll happen, so don't quote me on that. But if you're just playing on Windows 10 Edition, I don't know that the store is worthwhile. And in that case, it is more of a value removal because you can access all those things free on the Java version. So thus far, we've only focused on the direct implications of the marketplace. What is it? Is it a value add? I would argue yes on mobile. Maybe not so much on Windows 10, although maybe it'll prove me wrong in some way, shape, or form. But let's take it a step further and see maybe what are some of the indirect consequences, benefits, negatives of having the marketplace in play. So first and foremost, it gives Minecraft content creators, and I don't mean like Minecraft YouTube video content creators, but people who make the maps, the skins, the texture packs, a place to monetize that's unlike anything they could really do before. Previously, there were ad-fly links, Patreon donations maybe, but no real way to legally sell what they were doing. So it could be huge for them. You have things like the Steam Workshop, where you've had people make a living off of Dota 2 items, Team Fortress 2 hats, things of that nature. Now you have that with Minecraft, and potentially if you have a very, very popular item, that could be absolutely massive for you. So pretty cool. I think it motivates people to potentially make bigger and better content because they know there's that potential upside if it becomes very popular. And, you know, as noble as it is, and I know a lot of people are like, oh, money corrupts things and it was better before the money became involved. But let's be honest. Take me, for example. I would not be able to make as many YouTube videos as I do now if I wasn't able to do it as my full-time thing. That's just the fact of the matter. I invest almost all my time into doing this and other YouTube-related projects, and if I had to have another full-time job, obviously I couldn't be doing that. It's kind of only natural. So you have other people who are making these maps and texture packs and skins who maybe they're able to hit it big and they're actually able to focus their full-time on doing it when they couldn't previously, and I would argue that that is a plus. Now, there is one selfish concern that I do have with that. And that is, because the marketplace is for Pocket Edition and Windows 10, it makes me worry that some of the people out there who create really, really high quality maps specifically, because that's what I play on my channel and record videos on, there's a chance that they will no longer produce these for PC Java, and instead it will only be available on Pocket Edition Windows 10 because it's able to monetize there. And it's a selfish concern because they've invested a lot of time into making these things, and if there is a legal option, they should have a right to be able to earn a return on it. But is that going to mean that I'm going to have to switch over to Windows 10, which doesn't necessarily have the available functionality that PC Java did, or Pocket Edition, for example? Is it going to affect the content that I'm able to create here on this channel? Is it going to affect the playability that the community in general has on the PC Java version? Is it going to create a lack of really high quality content there because people are going to go where it's able to monetize? So that is my primary, albeit selfish, concern with the whole thing, especially as someone who looks for high quality content to be able to incorporate into videos. Will it still be as easy to come by stuff that still has all the features that PC Java can offer? Now, I think another potential benefit to come from this whole marketplace arrangement, at least I view it as a benefit, some others might disagree with me, as you might have disagreed with any of my previous points, is that it might be a first step in the direction of allowing servers a way to legally monetize. If you've been around for a little while, you may remember back in 2014, there was a little bit of drama around this thing called the EULA. And then up until that point, servers were kind of just doing whatever they wanted as far as monetizing. It was the Wild West. Some were offering like $1,000 ranks, and Mojang was like, we should probably make an official note about this and say what you can and cannot do. Well, in any case, in response to that, there was a bit of backlash. Servers saying, well, we're not really going to be able to sustain our development as we had if we're only able to offer cosmetics as opposed to things that impact gameplay. People were messaging Notch like crazy, and at least from what Notch said publicly, he states it's one of the main reasons that he looked to selling Minecraft is as a result of the backlash. Now, I think that this is a step towards potentially, for right now, right? You just have the texture packs, you have the worlds, you have the skin packs that you can download locally, but is this a step in the direction of allowing servers to incorporate their own stores that are connected directly to Microsoft? A rev share is done off of that, and servers are now able to legally make money in a sanctioned fashion. Could that happen? I would argue it's certainly a possibility because servers are definitely a big driver of players. And if Microsoft is able to, again, entice more development by enabling monetization, then it could drive more games, therefore more people coming to play. And it's probably good for all parties all around. Now, there's a little irony to be found here in that I'm sure a good deal of people who were maybe part of the, hey, don't crack down on servers camp argument, saying, how dare you introduce microtransactions into my game? So I would say try to be consistent in your argument and see the potential value here if you were someone who was pro servers still being able to offer the items anti-EULA, I should say. Again, this is all total speculation. I don't know if there will ever be a direct integration between individual servers and the marketplace, but if there is, even as someone who's not currently affiliated with any servers, I was for a time affiliated with Mineplex, and at that time I saw just how expensive it is to run one of those operations. Whereas you have people who can make maps on their own time for fun, texture packs on their own time for fun, skins. Servers, if you run a big server that's offering tons of mini games and that sort of thing, like a Mineplex, like a Hypixel, you gotta run that thing as a real business. There's no other way to do it. You have to be paying programmers to roll out regular content. You have to be paying for server space. There's a lot of costs to cover on that, and so there has to be a way on those things for it to monetize. Otherwise, there's simply no way for it to continue existing. And so I was sort of in the middle when it came to the whole EULA thing, right? Like some servers were just offering absolutely outrageous purchases that should never have been allowed, but others struck more of a balance, and I think were offering fair purchases that didn't negatively impact the experience for those who didn't purchase, but offered a nice benefit and were well structured. And so I was sort of in the middle, and I think that potentially, if there is a next step with this store that allows servers to monetize in a legal way, then that could be a pretty great thing for those servers. So then that almost begs the biggest question, the question to end all questions on the future of Minecraft. If this becomes a big enough revenue driver, and who knows what Microsoft's criteria for that would be, because Microsoft is a company that deals in tens of billions of dollars a year, so who knows what is meaningful to them. But if it hits big enough, is it a situation where they say, why bother with Java PC anymore? They just bring it all on over to C++. And is that a bad thing? Well, it's a bad thing, I suppose, if you have to repurchase the game, and I don't know what the situation is with Windows 10. If you have a copy of PC Java, do you get Windows 10? I'll have to look into clarifying that one, because if you do, then cool. But is it a situation where Java is discontinued if the store hits it big enough because it's worth investing the time in a platform that can also offer the additional monetization from the store on top of just that one-time purchase of the game? And then also you do have that benefit to Microsoft of, if it's all just C++, you have the cross-compatibility between every platform. It's the same version everywhere. You can roll out updates simultaneously across all the different platforms. There are additional benefits to there only being one version that is the same across all platforms, where you have the black sheep, the PC Java, even though it's the original. it's the one that's off to the side, that's not the same as all the other platforms. So it begs the question, is that the eventual down the road step? Is it a discontinuation of PC Java, which means that how will mods work in the future? Because you have all these modders who are used to Java, they have to start coding in C++. Would adding mods into the game be as feasible as it was previously? What would the process be like? There's a lot of unanswered questions, a lot of variables when it comes to that. And I just want to reiterate, this is all speculation. Maybe someone from Microsoft or Mojang is watching this like you are totally off your rocker and off base and none of this is happening. In which case, I apologize, but that's why I'm saying it's speculation. None of it might be true, but I feel from a business approach, it's not a far-fetched idea is all. Because I suppose if I were in charge of the whole thing, I'd be like, yeah, it'd be nice to just have one version across all platforms, and running on C++ is more ideal in comparison to running on Java. C++ is a better platform or a better coding language to be in. So anyway, that's it. That's the big picture in my book, at least, about the store and its potential implications. You can let me know what you think about it via comments if you feel like contributing. I think from an ability for creators to potentially earn a living where they weren't able to do it previously, that's great. And it's only fair that as someone who does that on YouTube, I support that for these people as well. I, of course, have my selfish concerns, and I do wonder if it will cause a lack of content in the future on PC Java. But we'll see. Maybe the C++ version catches up, has all the features of PC Java, and who knows what happens from there, what decisions are made. So anyway, I'm going to wind it down for there. Hopefully you've enjoyed, and that's that. All right, big stuff. I'll talk to you later.